has generously agreed to stay for a few minutes for some questions. I'm going to lead off with a few that some of you have submitted in advance through the community site, and then following that, we also have some microphones that are set up in the aisles, and we'll be able to take some questions from the audience. So, first up, welcome back to Walt Disney World.
Thank you.
And I have to say I'm very thankful I'm not going to be on the receiving end of that email.
I sent it to one person, not at the very highest level, who hasn't responded yet. So he's either in cardiac arrest or he's on vacation.
I see. So I think it might actually be sitting in one of the properties that was built under your watch. So this must have been very, very fascinating to come back and to be able to stay here, speak with a group of creatives, and be within the confines of something that you've seen from the planning stages all the way up to where it is today.
One of the things we did was prior to 1984, Disney did all of its own architecture. Everything was very in-house, very secular, which worked well in the beginning, but as time moved on, there was not enough, outside excitement and structure. So we went out and got world-class art. Graham Gunn did this building, actually from this. Graham and I did a whole new addition to the college I went to. We hired him, and architects, I think, always have had tremendous respect. But in the last 25 years, architects have proved that architecture pays off. And whether it's Jerry Hines in Houston doing spec buildings with, Philip Johnson or whoever, companies paying a premium for nice-looking buildings, or whether Disney doing all of the buildings. We've done 80 buildings, all of them, most of them with really talented young or not so young architects, has really paid off. And this facility, Graham did a great job. We were looking for a convention space that attracted not the largest conventions, the conventions that had 3,000, 5,000 people. They couldn't go to the Contemporary Hotel or Grand Floridian or the Orlando Convention Center. So this particular space was developed for the kind of convention that you're having. So I wanted to come down here and see how it was straight from the shower.
And you've certainly done that. Now, you've had an opportunity to do something that is really unique for many of us. There are those here in the audience that manage creative professionals, manage folks with lots of tattoos, lots of earrings, lots of spiky hair, and you had thousands upon thousands of those within the Disney organization. How did you manage to keep them invigorated, keep them so that they'd be focused on brand, on message, and wanting to come into work every day and continue to be excited about contributing to the innovations that Disney would put forward?
Well, interestingly, only about 20% have the spiky hair and the earrings and the tattoos. There's another 80% who are extremely creative that you wouldn't know of us were creative types. I don't know. I'm attracted to people that deal in the creative world. I'm attracted to people who are difficult. I don't know why. I'm willing to put up with anything if I get a result. I mean, almost anything. I don't really care that much about, hours and punctuality, and I mean, all those things are important, and you don't want to have a meeting that nobody shows up to. But the rules are somewhat different, and I think some of the things that a person who manages creativity has to be is a great editor. You got to sit in a room with people who are creative, and all these ideas flow. It's like a Chinese dinner. You got to say, today I really want the mushu pork. That looks good. You got to have a pretty good instinct about that, because great creative people have great ideas and terrible ideas, and the key is to try to move them toward their great ideas. And a lot of great people who've done great things have that one horrible project they've always been trying to get done for whatever reason, and you keep trying to finesse them to present that to your competitor. So, so it's just dealing with people maybe being a cheerleader, striving always for excellence, not settling. And part of my speech, I talked about the box. There's always another way to do it. And often the other way to do it, I gave the example of that Raiders scene, only because it's such a famous scene. But I can give you 50 examples of saying, yesterday on the phone with a bunch of people, we're doing an internet show with the Sklar brothers. These are people that are comedic, they're ESPN, they're very funny. They're going to do a comedic show for Tops. And we're taking the position that the Sklar, these twin brothers, inherited the company, and they got to make it work. And they're totally incompetent. It's a farce. And we had a telephone conversation yesterday with the people at Tops who were scared to death that if certain baseball players have a fairly bad reputation in the nighttime and are sensitive. And there are about 3 or 4 things that the Tops people thought would be really insulting them, and therefore we can use our license for Major League Baseball. And the people who produce the show say, oh, it's funny, and the fact that Poseidon is this and that, and whatever. And I said, hey, wait a second. They're giving you 3 notes, 3 things that you think are funny. Get rid of them. I want you to see if you can give me 3 things that are funnier than those 3 things. Now, I'm not going to get in trouble with Major League Baseball. So the key is you can make changes. And the changes often, are make it better. If you sometimes ultimately high budgets, really high budgets, create bad stuff. We were making a film called Outrageous Fortune once. With Shelley Long. And, when we first went to Disney, we wanted it to be a small budget film. And there was a scene where she goes to her parents to borrow money to go to ballet school or something. And we said, cut the scene. The parents, screw it, Oh, the writer went nuts. The writer. We have to have a scene. We have to set up that she's going. Where does she get the money? So we said, no. Find another way to do it. And what happened was she ended up with a scene where Shelley Long goes to a call box at a brownstone, pushes the button, and starts talking to her parents on the call button, begging for money. That's all the scene. You never see the parents. You never hire the parents. It's voiceover. It's very funny. At the end of the scene, a check comes in and flies into her. The scene cost us about $11. It was the best scene in the movie. Forcing people to change, to fit in the financial box, to think of other ways to do things. If you're polite, if you have a good relationship with them, if you just order it, it's going to be a disaster. And the people I have found, the people that are notoriously written about as final cut, and the writer has the final say in Broadway. You don't tell Mike Nichols what to do. You don't tell this. They're always the most accommodating. They love to hear good ideas. Steven Spielberg, I've never heard Steven Spielberg's back it up when you say, that scene didn't work. And he may do it his way in the end, but he's so confident of his ability that he's willing to listen to criticism. Sometimes it's the people that are not so confident in their ability who really become entrenched. And those people you got to take out to dinner to get drunk. Is that a thesis for you?
I was going to say, so that one snippet will be the management advice the way.
Right. Get difficult people drunk.